Alright, welcome back to the vlog, everybody. Gonna kind of recap last week. I had a little mishap. Bottom stick slipped on me, cut my leg up pretty good. And then I came down with a cold, tried hunting with a cold. Came really close to shooting a doe. The wind switched and she busted me. I've been hunting these does in and around some fields, came close one night. Just couldn't quite close the deal, ran out of daylight. And I got out and moved some cameras around, did some scouting. Yeah, just low on energy and, tend to get kind of out of breath going up the hills. And then that brings us into weekend of the 29th and 30th. Buddy Jake got a doe last night. That was cool, helped him with that. And that brings us into the weekend, so we'll get into the hunts this weekend. It's just breaking daylight. Saturday the 29th. Doe hunting in Vermont. Just listening to a symphony of turkeys waking up. It's pretty awesome. Hunting out of the saddle on the ground today. Got a pretty slick little setup. Some cover behind me. There's a couple runs that come off this bank. One goes up behind me and one comes down in front. There's an overgrown field out here. There's another field up top. I guess any deer that moves through here is gonna come near me. I think that'll do it for this morning, but I wanted to show you this setup. You can see when I get down here, there's all this cover behind me. But I can still see out there, down in front of me, and then that whole hillside. Anything that comes from behind, I'll hear, and I'm so blended in here, and there's so much cover that it's a slick little spot. I don't have to carry in sticks or platform. I don't have to climb. Just pop up on this bank and take out the tether and ready to go. Saturday evening. I think it's about 3 o'clock. Just got set up. Just chilling in the saddle. Armrest here. Got a sweatshirt and a couple of things if it gets a little chilly, but it's upper 50s. Light breeze that's blowing out that way. Hoping the movement's coming off this hill. But you never know. nice doe at maybe, I don't know, 60, 70 yards. Buck right in all this thick stuff. I was messing around filming those turkeys that came in. I had a group of longbeards came in. I heard a stick snap and I could hear them scratching in the leaves. I still hear something. Alright, it's the next morning here. So what happened last night was I messed around trying to film those turkeys. I had to kind of step out and around the stone wall. And I got back to my little perch there, put the camera back in the arm, and maybe 10 seconds later I caught movement. I pulled the binos up and it was that doe. I don't know, maybe she must have been right there. I have no idea where she came from. She must have been over by those turkeys. I don't know. But that's the short of it. She got away and she wasn't too spooked, so maybe she'll come back down through this morning. So I'm going to get in there and find out. Nothing this morning. Today's October 30th. Or if I want to start out with a nice scrape in New Hampshire. It's going to be real warm next week, which sucks, but I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so I decided I'm going to hunt that scrape in New Hampshire tonight. They're getting close to Halloween, and even though the temps are kind of warm, the scrapes are going to be heating up here, so I stopped to, I bought these 180 grain Federals for the '06, and I want to test them out. Got my little target set up here at a whopping 30 yards. I just want to make sure they're not going to fly drastically different than the Winchesters I sighted it in with, which were 165 grain. I don't suspect there's going to be much of a difference, but that's the hole from on this right here. But yeah, one of them must have been that one. I wasn't exactly on when I shot, but the other two felt pretty good, so I think that's gonna be good enough for killing a buck. It is Halloween, October 31st, Monday, about 3 o'clock, and I did some scouting earlier, and I found this old log landing with a bunch of grass in it, clover and all kinds of stuff, and there's doe tracks everywhere and fresh droppings and a pretty good sized buck track. I think it might be that buck that I jumped the other day going down to the blind to swap the card. Had that been muzzleloader season, I probably could have killed him, but anyhow, I'm going to set up on this landing because I think the feeding sign was from this morning. The wind is, it looks like they fed and went down in that way. The wind's blowing this way, which sets up good for it, unless that's where they're going to come from. But the bow and the muzzleloader, because if I can get one of these does to within 30-40 yards, I'll I'll gladly take a shot with the bow. I don't want to burn my gun tag if I don't have to. But I'll be able to see down into the bottom of the cut, so if that big buck decides he's going to hang up for a while and browse down in there before coming up here at dark, then the woodman's going to bark. So I'm going to get up in this tree and see what happens. Still going to set up the bow, but up here, see what goes down. Alright, got him loaded in the jet sled. All the rest of my gear I'm pumped, but I'm gonna get him out of here. Whew. Hopefully I can get him in the truck. Alright, packing it up now. Got the back straps going. Still got one hind quarter left, but getting there. So that's it for this week's vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now it's on to the next one.